Hello and welcome back to B&T TV. Today we are visiting Zenith, who in July created the Next Generation Board. Now, this board was going to sit on the executive leadership team and was going to find out what the future of work is and whether AI and automation is going to take everyone's jobs. So thank you for joining me today, guys. Just as a first question, what is the Next Gen Board and what exactly is it going to do?
So thanks, Tom, and thanks for having us, mate. Look, Next Gen Board for us was really a way we've thought about how do we extend our leadership team. So looking across our business, we've got 240 people at Zenith now, and we really wanted a voice at the leadership table who can help us steer the business forward. We've got a great ELT across the business made up of 12, 13 people, but we wanted additional voices. I talk a lot about cognitive diversity, so I really wanted people from different walks of life. I wanted a lot of people who were in the trenches every day thinking about our business, really having that voice at the table.
And on those kind of new perspectives and, being closer to, being on the tools, why do you think that was perhaps missing from the leadership team initially?
I might start this one and hand to the team. I don't think it was missing initially, but it's just a different voice. It's a different way of getting that voice across.
Yeah, I think, the big appeal of joining the NGen board was I'm at the point in my career now where I want to be contributing more to the agency and really connecting in with what I'm talking about with the teams on a day-to-day and the feedback they're giving me, and take that up the line to start to shape where the agency's going and what it looks like. And a big part of also being on the board is then being able to share my knowledge with the rest of the board members.
It's all about learning for me, getting out of my investment bubble, connecting with people in other markets with different experiences, different skill sets, and adding a voice to the market, but then also being able to bring that back into my role as a leadership member of the agency.
Yeah, I guess I bring a different experience because I'm less than 2 years in media. I'm very different to the rest of the people here. And so I joined the NGB because I'm looking at, I want to have a long career in media, and how do I help create a culture within media that's I'm going to be happy with for working in within the next 20, 30, 40 years.
Jason, one of the points that you brought up earlier was kind of cultural and gender diversity, which are obviously very important. And rightly so, I think most companies in Australia and certainly Adelaide are kind of striving to get that as much as possible. One of the other remits that the board has is about cognitive diversity. Can you kind of expand on exactly kind of what that is and why that's important?
Yeah, sure. I mean, when we looked at all the normal diversity measures that everyone's kind of put out there around gender, et cetera, we knew we were very good there. Zero pay gap, 67% of our ELT is female, so right in line with where the media agencies are. However, we wanted new voices, all right? And so that's where cognitive diversity comes in. Somebody like Dave, who's been in the industry not very long, who actually has never worked in an agency where it's been 5 days, where it's been hybrid work the whole time. That's really different for someone like me, and I call myself a dinosaur, who grew up working 5 days a week, right, even 6, in an office, and it was very different. So to get these voices of people who have experienced different things, be it in life, they've travelled to different places, come from different places, but also have worked differently, for us was really, really important.
Yeah, so I finished uni 2021. During lockdown, and started working Zenith straight away. So when I first joined Zenith, it was full-time at home. I've never worked in an office 5 days a week. I don't think I've ever come into the office 5 days in a row, and I probably never will. And I've set up my life so that I don't do that. Like, I've got things outside, the rest of my life is built around working from home some of the time. And for so many people that I speak to, that's how they want to live their lives, that's how they want to work. By thinking about the future of work and how people want to work differently, it means that we can actually create a culture that is beneficial for everyone.
I'll just add to that too, because we work in Sydney, we're finding that when we've gone through this surveys and discovery phase at the moment, we're finding that the markets are really nuanced. So, you know, Melbourne and Sydney probably don't come to the office as much, where Brisbane love going to the office. We have the problem now, we're expanding in Brisbane and we have to actually put people on rotation because they are used to just coming into the office. So it's quite a different vibe.
We're in the office 5 days a week. It's much better for us to kind of turn around and ask our editor what's kind of going on. But is there not a kind of a reduction in the kind of speed of communication if people are at home?
When you start to look at in office or out of office, I think we're past that debate, to be perfectly frank. I think it's now where you're going to do your best work, and collaboration's part of that. We've learned to collaborate digitally. We've learned to collaborate in places that aren't the office, and we've learned to collaborate here too. And so I think giving our people the flexibility to collaborate and connect where's right for them, where they're going to do the best work, is probably the most important thing.
No, I have a similar view, but I think it's interesting because we've met 3 times as a board now, and part of that meeting was to dissect the 2 briefs that we've been given. So there's what's the future of work look like, and immediately everyone just thinks, oh, is that 9-day fortnights, 5 days in the office? And I think the short answer is no, because to David's point, everyone works effectively in different ways. You know, the schooling system hasn't got it right for kids growing up and learning. Some need to be outside and active more than others. Others do really well in that environment. And I think a big part of what we need to answer and what we're going through from a discovery phase point of view is one size does not fit all, but how do you create the culture and the workplace environment that fosters innovative thinking, that allows you to really connect in as a group to provide the best work for our clients. The second brief is also really interesting because they're interlinked, right? Elements of the second brief around automation and AI will allow us to free up time to really foster that, whether it be through automating the mundane tasks or just creating efficiencies that then enable us to really spend the time on the things that are going to drive our clients' business forward. To your point, everyone thinks AI and automation is the boogeyman, it's going to make people redundant. From our point of view, that's not the case. What AI will enable it to do is take those mundane tasks. Account queries is the industry issue, right? Everyone whinges when it comes to the finance side of things. The really heavy admin things, we want the AI and the automation to really alleviate the pressure from the teams on that, to really foster the cultural element of the workplace.
Tom's absolutely right. When we did our research and discovery, it was all the account queries, reporting, it was all those things. No one was really scared or worried that it was going to take over their roles. Everyone was just seeing it really positively. How can we get rid of those mundane things so we can really focus on insights and data storytelling and whatever, depending on, what stream you were in, just to make your job a lot easier. But as Tom said, really fun, and make the office probably more of a creative space when we come in. So we, may be off for 2 days and then come in those 3 days. We're in groups, we're in teams, we're doing stuff together. We're doing more brainstorms. We're freeing up that time that we spend doing tasks that, to be honest, a lot of mistakes are made on those mundane tasks because you lose interest and it's just better handled by a machine.
I suppose, what kind of level of investment does that require? I expect fairly substantial.
Well, it's quite interesting. The answer is we don't know yet. Globally, we've made a lot of inroads in AI. Everyone here and everyone across Publicis globally has got access to things like ChatGPT. We've made that available through Marcel. We've got full learning capability in Marcel as well around AI. So really educating our teams around the use, utilisation, and how to talk to our clients about automation as well. What's the investment to start to automate some parts of our business? The answer is we're still yet to get to that part because we don't know what we're going to automate. There'll be some parts that probably make a lot of sense to automate. We've spoken about account queries. We've talked about maybe mining some data a little bit differently, and those things will come. In terms of investment, I think there will be an investment from us. Put a number on it's really difficult at this stage. Once we've got those projects, I'm happy to talk about that. Yeah.
We were actually told not to think about budget, just to be creative, because otherwise, if you're thinking about a budget, you're not going to be as creative and think about all the blue sky things. And it might be a phased approach. It might be that we think up here and we start baby steps.
So the final one, and we'll go round. We'll do a sweep. What's the future of work? Start with you, David.
3 meetings in, do we have a solution? I mean, it's definitely not full-time at the office, I would say, for me. It's definitely not full-time at home either. For me, I think I want something that's hybrid and something where I can collaborate with people seamlessly.
Yeah, thank you. For me, I would say I have children in their teens now, and I came from the working environment where you basically felt bad for leaving. So I really enjoyed, and I was one of the people that were shocked that I wasn't coming into the office as much because I was always here till 7 o'clock at night, sort of thing. So for me, I'm really enjoying to be able to have that flexibility.
The future of work is going to be about effectively collaborating and sharing ideas, and then automating those mundane tasks to then free up that time. I think the agencies that can adapt to that the quickest will have an advantage when talking to their clients about what the future of their business means.
Yeah, for me, it's not time in office or anything like that. It's a culture that can connect and collaborate effectively, do great work. So I'm not really interested in days in, days out, or team swaps and A/B teams and all the things we kind of had to do through COVID. I think now it's about how do we effectively collaborate, how do we do the best work of our careers, and what's that culture look like. One of the big briefs into the team was a culture that's connected is really important to the solution.
Once you have found the future of work, are you going to be rolling that out through the rest of Publicis?
Oh, look, we'll definitely share it. And it'll come down to how each agency wants to adapt and evolve and work with that. Every agency is different. Every agency culture is different. So it'd be really remiss of me to suggest that. But we'll definitely share it and share our findings and share our work and allow others to adapt and evolve. And I think that's probably the open source way that we work here at Publicis. So I think that's probably the best positive we can get out of it.